Well, according to National Park Services, people visited parks like the one that you see behind me almost 312 million times last year. And this is just a small sample of the more than 15 trillion park visits that have taken place since 1904. And this week is Earth Week. So we're taking a closer look at our national parks. And it started as Earth Day, which is Friday, and it was first recognized in 1970 to raise awareness for environmental problems that we are facing. Now, Earth Week is a chance to spend more time learning more about our planet and what we can do to ensure that Earth remains healthy and long-lasting. Will and Jim Paditz are the co-founders of More Than Just Parks. It's an organization aimed to encourage and teach people more about our parks and our historic landmarks here in this country. Will and Jim, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm going to go ahead and start with you right here, Will. Let's talk a little bit about Earth Week. Why is Earth Week so important for Americans to recognize, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having us on. Earth Week is one of our absolute favorite weeks as big national park folks because we get to celebrate these incredible sites that are natural in general. Like the U.S. has 424 national park sites currently, 63 of which are designated national parks. And we encourage everybody to go out there and visit these places responsibly, and that's why we like Earth Week, because a lot of that responsible messaging is kind of attached with it.
I love it. I love it. And I love that you are in a park as we're speaking. Jim, let's head over to you. What are some ways that people can celebrate Earth Week? I mean, obviously they can go to a park. What else can they be doing?
Yeah, I think there's a number of ways you can celebrate Earth Week. Of course, you can get out to a national park and experience that grandeur of that nature, but you don't have to get to a national park to kind of celebrate the Earth's beauty. Just get outside, go to your local city park, a state park, or just anything where you can be outside kind of appreciating this beautiful planet that we live on. That's the only home we have.
Yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous. Well, I want to go ahead and turn it back over to you because there is an investment being made in all of this here in the United States. The Departments of the Interior and Agriculture are going to be investing $2.8 billion in 2023. That's for national parks, national wildlife refuges, recreation areas. I know that you dedicate your life to this. You guys have a website, you're documentary filmmakers. Will, where would you like to see that money go? How do you think it should be spent?
Yeah, well, I would say one of the top places it can be spent is in the deferred maintenance backlog that the National Park Service has. You're talking about billions of dollars of bridges that are torn down, that are in a state of disrepair, flood walls that need to be repaired. People, you know, when you think about the threat of climate change, a lot of folks don't associate the national parks with that directly, but the national parks are some of the places that are at the greatest threat from rising sea levels, which will affect, I think, nearly 1/3 of all of the national parks in the country. So I think that's a great place to be spending the money.
And I wanted to go ahead and ask you the same thing, Jim, because look, I had a chance to see the Grand Canyon over the summer, and it was such a sight. And I was wondering if enough was being done to preserve landmarks like this. Parks,
yeah.
You know, the national parks. If you had your way, where would you put that money? And do you think that the U.S. is doing a good job preserving these sites?
You know, I think the National Park Service started off as a fantastic, concept where we decided, the United States has actually invented the idea of national parks. And we decided we wanted to set aside these places that are the most special natural wonders of our country, and also set aside these places that are important culturally and historically. And I think we've done a good job of that historically speaking, but I think there's so much more that we can be doing, looking at places that are not only naturally beautiful, but also historically important or culturally significant, and preserving those places, because that's what the National Park Service is about. It's about preserving Americans' heritage. And a lot of that is natural, but also a lot of it is historical and cultural. And we have to continue to make sure that we're doing a good job telling those stories and preserving those places that need to be preserved. So I think there's still a lot more that we can be doing in terms of looking at places that need either elevated protection or new protection at all.
Yeah, you make some really, really good points there. Will, what are some hidden gems in the country that people should be taking the time right now to go and see? You guys have put together some pretty amazing lists on your website. I can't believe that you were able to rank the national parks, also some of these historic landmarks and monuments. So I don't know if you guys were able to get along and make the list together, but Will, I'll go ahead and start with you. What are some of your favorites?
Yeah, well, one right off the bat that I think everybody needs to be thinking about is one that Jim and I just released a film on last week on our website, morethanjustparks.com. It's New River Gorge National Park in West Virginia. This is one of the newest national parks in America, which for Jim and I at least, you think, well, maybe they don't have the infrastructure necessary to kind of fit everybody's needs yet. I can assure you they do. This place is incredible, whether you want to go whitewater rafting, rock climbing, mountain biking, walking on these beautiful boardwalks. And the park is namesake, the New River Gorge Bridge, is the second largest single span bridge in the Western Hemisphere. That alone is pretty cool to see. So that's a top pick I've got for folks right now.
All right, New River Gorge National Park and Preserve in West Virginia. I'm writing that down as we speak. Will, what about you? What was the process like, first of all, coming up with this list, which is pretty amazing? And what do you think is the best national park out there?
Oh, that's a good question. The best national park out there. Well, right now on our list, we have Olympic National Park up in Washington State, in that top corner of Washington State. We rank as the best national park out there. A lot went into this list. You know, everybody's favorite national park might be different. You know, we have all different kinds of things that we personally prefer in a park or what have you, but we felt like Olympic National Park had all of the qualities that, you know, you really kind of look for in a national park. You know, you have these glaciated mountain peaks, you have you know, lowland forests, you have rainforests, you have rivers, streams, and all kinds of incredible wildlife. So those are bringing all those things together is what made Olympic National Park our top ranked national park. But I encourage everybody to check out the list on our website and see where your favorite park stacks up, and also just kind of use it to plan your summer adventures.
Yeah, I couldn't find mine. I was surprised with this list because there are so many that you wouldn't really think should be ranked at the top, but it just goes to show you there are so many parks out there, and it would probably take the rest of your life in order to see them all. But these are great suggestions. New River Gorge in West Virginia, Olympic National Park. They've now been added to my list. Both of you gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today. Happy Earth Week to you.
Happy Earth Week to you. Thank you.